What's up, everyone? All right, so I'm sitting here up a little under $11,000 on the day, about the same as what I did yesterday, and except that today I'm closing at my high of day, whereas yesterday I was up 16 and then gave back 5. So I actually feel better walking away right here, and we're going to break down the trades in the recap. As always, a reminder to you guys out there, trading is risky. I know that you see me doing this, you think, boy, that looks easy. Just like watching someone ride a bike or watching someone juggling or doing anything, it takes training, it takes experience, and it takes a willingness to take risk, because trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money. So I encourage you to trade in a simulator before you throw real money into the market. Do yourself that favor. All right, so please hit that thumbs up for the recap today, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. All right, so it's 10 a.m. I'm going to do a recap here of my trades from this morning. RHE is the biggest winner. It's pulling back right now. I had both my biggest winner of the day and my biggest loser on this one. The biggest loser was along right here for the break through this high of 64, looking for an immediate surge through 14. I was in at like 85. It then pulls back to 1307, and during that pullback, I was at my biggest loss. It came back up, I sold for a $2,000 loss, and then I got back in kind of high and sold that for a $2,000 gain, and so I'm sitting basically back to where I was before these trades. So where I made the majority of my gains on this was on resumption from this halt. Halted up at 1267, I wasn't in it. It opened, it dipped, I bought the dip, and we got that rip there up to 13, then a 1 minute pullback and a squeeze up to 1350, and then up to 1364. That was where I made the bulk of my money. When I got back in here, I took the $2,000 loss, then got back in, made back 2,000. So a little choppy. High day volume is on a red candle. It's a doji. It's a stock with no news, but a history of making big moves. So for that reason, it was worth watching. Was on the momentum scans. VERU was the second biggest winner I had today. This one I traded pre-market. I jumped into it basically right as it was squeezing up here. I missed the 1 minute pullback right there, but I got in this right here on dip. Pops up, was looking for the squeeze through 12, hit a high of 1165, pulls back, 1 minute micro pullback, pops up, false breakout, sold, took it off the table, green trade. Next one, THYT. This one yesterday squeezed at the open into a halt up. It then opened and squeezed into a second halt up. So I jumped in it, only 1,500 shares. It squeezed into a halt going up. It opened a little lower. I bought the dip, goes up towards 18. My chart's not loading. I made some money, and then I added again and then stopped out. Gave back half of what I made. So I was up 3,000 on it, up 1,800 to finish the day. And then BTX was the last one, or the smallest winner today. And this one I jumped in at 54.25 or 54.50, something like that, in this area for the breakthrough 55. And we had some nice action on that up to 58. But I didn't trade it with big size. So I was conservative on my share size on that, and so the gains are smaller. So those are the 4 stocks I traded. After I crossed over 10,000 in profit, I kind of thought maybe you should just stop here. And that's when I took that last trade on RHE, held it down like 65, 70 cents a share, came back up, was down 6,000, which was more than half of what I was up on the day, then was closing it for a $2,000 loss, so it was up 8 grand. Took another trade after that, made back the 2,000, and said, all right, at this point, let's this time take the profit off the table. So $10,793.67, which makes it my third green day for the month of May. And actually right now, yesterday I was up 11,000. Monday I was up 20,000 or 21,000. So as of today, 3 days into the month, I have made the same amount that I made all of last month. This is sort of the way trading is. The red days get clustered together, the green days get clustered together, and so as it turns out, I kind of had a rough patch with a couple of big red days in April. And so I finished the month up 40,000. Well, as it turns out now, 3 days into the month, 20 plus 10 plus 10, I'm up around 40,000. Maybe it's 37, maybe it's 41. I don't know. It's somewhere around there. It's off the top of my head, but roughly 40. And so the question is, can I hold on to it? And these days here of 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, that's a lot of money, but relative to what I've done in the past, I'm still kind of on these smaller days. I haven't imported May's trades yet, but $30,000 a day, 22, 57. I'm waiting for those big green days. And certainly a stock like PRPO with high volume can allow me to trade bigger share size and potentially give me some nice gains. Something like RHE with higher volume could also work, but the lack of a catalyst does create risk on it. It's up 29% on the day, which is good, but not great. So, the market is heating back up a little bit, but it's still tricky. It's still definitely a time to be very cautious. NMRD hitting my scanners here. So it halted up, opened higher. So the thing on this one, the volume's a little light for this time of day. NMRD, 1.2 million shares. When you have these topping tails, I always get a little nervous. High was 820. So if it broke through 820, that would be good, but there's 730 on the bid. So this is up 60%. That's a good move. It looks like there is some news on it this morning from 8 a.m. So you do have a catalyst, but it's already made a pretty big move from 5 up to 8. So now you need to kind of wait for a pullback. The daily chart shows us sort of this big red candle here, which I don't love seeing. Resistance at 870, and then room up to 981, and then room up to 1259, except that it's a red day, so that might be a little tricky. Probably until it clears 870, I would think it might be a little choppy. Those are daily levels. Sometimes when something is really, really strong, it'll just keep going regardless of daily levels, but I probably would be a little cautious. RHE now back below the VWAP. BTX pulling back as well. So 30 minutes into the day, kind of the action from overnight news and pre-market trading is subsiding. And NMRD is actually just bounced off the halt level going down. So I think this is a good time to throw in the towel. Now, some traders might come back for afternoon trading. There have been more opportunities in the afternoon in the last month, but they've been without me because I focus on trading in the morning. Not because there aren't ever opportunities in the afternoon, but because I don't want to sit in front of my computer all day long. That's the whole idea of being a trader, is not having to be sitting in an office all day long. So it might mean that I could, I don't know, make more money. Maybe I would make more money if I traded until 4 p.m. every day. I don't know how much more I would make. It's just a guess, but maybe I would make 10% more. Maybe I'd make 50% more. Maybe I'd make double. Or maybe I would make less. And regardless of how much more I make, there's at a certain point a question of how much more do you really need? Because if the idea is to spend time doing things you really love, I mean, I don't know how much those things cost, but the idea would be to trade less and have more time to do the things you enjoy. So if you get yourself where you have to be trading 8 hours a day, then you better really be enjoying what that's affording you in your time when you're not sitting in the office. But life is short. It's important to enjoy it. So, and there's an MRD, as I'm talking, bouncing off the VWAP from a low of 687 back up to 8. Halt level going up is at 830, but I couldn't get in, even though this is a micro pullback under 8. I don't feel like I could get in here given the risk of maybe giving back gains. So I'm just gonna let it be. All right, take it slow, manage your risk. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. And that right there was an entire video with no ads. I don't monetize my YouTube channel with video ads, which means you guys get to enjoy the content. But do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and let YouTube know that this channel is the channel to watch if you want to learn about day trading.